reports used to measure inflation are the Consumer Price Index, CPI, the Producer Price Index, PPI, and the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index. The PCE Price Index is the Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge. While inflation's effects on the economy and asset values can be unpredictable, history and economics offer some rules of thumb. Inflation is most damaging to the value of fixed-rate debt securities, because it devalues interest rate payments as well repayments of principal. If the inflation rate exceeds the interest rate, lenders are in effect losing money after adjusting for inflation. This is why investors sometimes focus on the real interest rate, derived by subtracting the inflation rate from the nominal interest rate. Longer-term fixed-rate debt is more vulnerable to inflation than short-term debt, because the effect of inflation on the value of future repayments is correspondingly greater, and compounds over time. There are pros and cons to every type of investment hedge, just as there are pros and cons with every type of investment. Also, there are positive and negative features to the various assets described above. Inflation is an economy-wide, sustained trend of increasing prices from one year to the next. An economic concept. The rate of inflation is important as it represents the rate at which the real value of an investment is eroded and the loss in spending or purchasing power over time. Inflation also tells investors exactly how much of a return, in percentage terms, their investments need to make for them to maintain their standard of living. The rate of inflation represents the rate at which the real value of an investment is eroded and the loss in spending or purchasing power over time. Inflation also indicates how much of a return investments need to make to maintain a specific standard of living. Inflation occurs when the supply of money increases relative to the level of productive output in the economy. A rise in the price of only one product is not in itself inflation, but may just be a relative price change reflecting changes in supply or demand. Source: Investopedia web address.